Today's episode, Jared is going to teach us how to make, what's it called?
It's CPK, California Pizza Kitchen, Thai chicken pizza.
Yeah, or AKA Meats Pizza, Pizza Pizza, Chica Pizza Pizza. That's what I call it. So, yeah. But it's like pretty good. It's like more like a paleo type of.
It's a paleo dish, yeah. So there's no flour or anything like that involved, and actually there's really little sugar even in the entire recipe.
Jeez. Wow. No sugar, folks. Okay, go ahead.
We can add some sugar if you're looking for a little bit more sweetness in the peanut type sauce that we're going to put on it. But we're going to avoid peanuts so we don't have any allergens in the recipe.
Yes, and she's a scientist, so she knows all about like food science and stuff. So this is
sun butter.
Sun butter.
So it's like peanut butter, but it's made with sunflower seeds.
Cool. And then we have good old organic coconut milk.
It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, I would just drink it out the can, but it's kind of barbaric, so I won't do it. Then we have, what is this, lime juice?
It's lime juice, yeah. If it's going to be limes, they got me that. We'll make it work.
Men,
it'll be tasty.
Ooh, red pepper. Oh yeah, this is all like organic stuff, right? Is it?
No, that's just the everyday value.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
This stuff's really cool, though.
This is coconut aminos.
Coconut aminos. It tastes like soy sauce, not exactly like soy sauce. But for people who can't eat soy, or especially because most soy sauce has gluten in it, this is actually fermented coconut. And it tastes really similar. It gives a nice, and it's raw, it's got a lot of other good things going for it as well. So it's got a lot of free-floating aminos, which are basically nutrition that's instantly available to you. So it gives that kind of burst on your tongue.
Wow, a lot to it. And then we have organic rice vinegar. Moroccan.
Yeah, just rice vinegar.
Yeah, just rice vinegar. We have garlic. I know what this is. And we have ginger. Looks like a monster, actually. But,
or a moose.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a good looking moose.
That is true. He knows all about mooses. He had a moose once. The camera guy. Just letting folks know.
It's just more.
And then we got minced garlic.
So it turns out that when you're cooking, most of the time, whether it's pre-minced or you mince it yourself, it doesn't really matter in the end flavor.
Yeah, that is so.
We've been
fooled.
You put all this work in, pulling those skins off, doing all this other stuff, but you taste test side by side.
Same thing.
It's basically the same thing.
That's why you need scientists by your side, just to let you know the reals about things like, just get this one. You don't need to be peeling and crying your eyes out like it's onion or something. And then we have, so this is
curry paste.
Curry paste. And
this is for the crust. So we're going to put a little bit of the red curry paste in the crust. It's going to spice up that chicken. Chicken is a little bland all on its own, right? But you add a little bit of that curry paste, it really comes out.
She's great. She knows what she's doing. Then we have these organic eggs.
Oh, these are not really organic. They're pasture raised.
Wait a minute.
I get them I have a CSA with Red Fire Farms.
Oh, wow.
And so with my weekly delivery of vegetables, they bring me eggs as well.
That's awesome.
So,
wow.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to mix up the crust. So we're going to use a pound of chicken.
Yes, the crust is chicken.
Oh, actually, first thing you need to do is mix the egg.
Ooh.
So we're going to use one egg. And it still has feathers stuck to it. That's how fresh that egg is.
That's awesome.
We're going to use a tablespoon. If I can even get that in there. That doesn't look like it will. We're going to use about a tablespoon. So let's see. A nice heaping tablespoon. I'm not really good at measuring things. I'm just giving you the basic recipe. Grab this. And then the most important ingredient, no matter what you say, is actually the salt. We're just going to do about a half teaspoon.
What type of salt is that?
This is sea salt.
Sea salt.
Yeah. So we're going to mix this all up. What the salt does is it causes, so you know sometimes you get scrambled eggs and they're super rubbery?
Yeah.
Well, the key to that is salt. you add a little bit of salt, it breaks up those, basically the proteins end up going really hard like this. The salt causes them to relax, so you don't get that rubbery thing going on.
Wow.
It's nice and whipped up. That should be good. And then we're going to add our chicken.
Oh.
Got a pound of chicken here.
As the French folks would call it, poulet,
Poulet, poulet, yeah.
Poulet, yes, there you go, see? Brushing up on my French as you speak.
Set this to the side. And then the best way to mix this, I'm not gonna lie,
Get your hands dirty.
you get your hands dirty. You put those hands in, get it nice and mixed up.
Nice. That is awesome.
Takes a minute, but comes out well.
Oh, it's fine. When you get your hands dirty, that's when the food tastes the best. That's just me. But
I agree.
you know, I'm just saying, a lot of folks don't like to get their hands dirty. I'm just like, how do you know if the food's gonna be good? Gotta get your hands in there, mix it around, you know, play with it, have some fun.
Mix, yeah, no, stuff that you, I mean, I'm not saying it's clean, but hey, I washed my hands.
Yeah.
You washed your hands.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be okay.
We're good to go.
Alright. Then we're just going to grab, you can use something round if you want it to be more like a round pizza, but that's not really important. Biggest thing is we just need to put it in a container. I'm going to spread it out nice and thin. Now my hand's already dirty. Makes it easier just to get it all spread out nice and even.
Now that's what we call a spread, folks.
What I like to do, as I was actually telling Butta a minute ago, is I like to cook a bunch up at a time. So I'll get like 3 pounds of chicken, 3 eggs, use almost the whole jar of Thai curry paste, but then I have enough to eat for the whole week. And it actually works really well as like a wrap. So similar to how you would use bread, you can actually wrap up veggies. I like making BLT wraps with it, all kinds of stuff.
She likes putting meat on top of meat, so she wraps the chicken thingy with some more meat. Which, if you like to eat meat, that's just like heaven. But if you like vegetables and stuff, then you just like vegetables.
You can toss those vegetables in. I like to mix up some salad, or I'll make some homemade mayo, bacon, tomatoes, and bake a wrap out of that.
That looks great.
Alright, so this only needs to cook for like 15 minutes, and then we can make our sauce. So I'm just going to pop this.
What temperature is the oven at?
It's at 450 for 15 minutes at 450 degrees. And I'll let that cook. Now for our sauce. That's kind of exciting, right? I'm going to use, I've got my handy hand blender here. Basic ingredients are sun butter. And I'm, as I said before, not very good at measuring stuff. The recipe itself calls for half a cup.
Yeah.
So like equal parts of coconut milk and sun butter. Give that a nice stir. As I said, measuring, not so much my strong suit. First things first, give that a nice stir, mix in any oil that's come up off the top.
Mm-hmm. That's very important. People tend to forget about that. They just leave the oil at the bottom. Just instead of mixing it around.
Yeah. You want equal parts, right? So, hey, that's about 1/4 of a cup. The sauce is really good, so I'm going to make extra. So we'll do about 1/2 cup. Actually, it'd be pretty close there. About half a cup?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tasty. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so this is full fat coconut milk, so then sometimes the cream will rise to the top, so I like to give it a good shake before I open it. Otherwise, you have that that fat's really tasty, but
It's not that healthy.
coconut milk is actually really healthy.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good source of monosaturated fats, which they're showing more and more in the research now are actually really good for you.
Well, look at that. I did not know this.
So I'm going to use this side here. Splash it in, so it's about equal parts.
Yeah,
looks about equal.
It looks about equal.
Excellent.
It looks like a good smoothie you got going on.
Peanut butter,
Coconut
milk.
What's
Right.
next?
Alright, we're gonna add some lime juice. So I'm gonna do about a tablespoon of lime juice. And then once we get it all mixed up, we can adjust flavor. So like a tablespoon of lime juice. I'm gonna give it brand new. Hasn't even been opened.
Well, here. All this.
That's gonna be tasty. So I'm gonna add about a quarter tablespoon of red pepper flakes. It is raw and fermented, so
Yeah,
it's a little bit under pressure.
Yeah, I was like, what? Alright. Oh, this is probably.
Alright, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of the coconut aminos.
Yeah, that's good.
A tablespoon of the rice vinegar. We're gonna add some minced garlic, and then I'm gonna have to chop up some garlic or ginger down here as well.
Well, doesn't look like a good smoothie now. Tell you that much.
Interesting smoothie.
Yeah.
Nothing else, right?
Yep.
Add about a half teaspoon of this garlic. It's alright if you get a little bit. That curry in there, I'll give it a little bit more flavor. And last but not least, I'm going to use there's actually conveniently broken off thumb's worth of ginger here. I'm going to peel off that skin. A really good way of peeling off the skin is to use just a spoon. You just drag it. If I can get it in there. Drag it along.
Oh,
So you don't need to use a peeler.
yeah.
A spoon will take that skin off all on its own.
Would you look at that? You learn something new every day.
So, the bigger the piece, the easier it is to do. But
Yeah.
I got this. That takes it right off.
Wow. Right. I really didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, no. So you can take off all the skin without necessarily losing half your ginger, because the skin's really thin.
Yeah.
You can use a peeler, you lose half your ginger to the peeler, right?
This is true.
So the dough doesn't have to be super fine, because we're actually going to use the hand blender to get it all blended up. Let's start with about half of that, and we can adjust the flavor. I'm definitely going to need some salt. So I'm going to take the big finger pinch, basically. And then we're going to mix this all up. So I've got the hand blender here. Oops. I like how you stand back, like this is a dangerous.
What was that?
And then the most important part, I'm gonna taste it for flavor. Tell me what you think.
spice. It's all about the spice. The spice makes everything nice.
I'm gonna add a little bit more lime juice.
Wow, that's really good. Jeez.
You would say that no matter what, but
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, food is always good.
A little bit of salt. Mixing again. Slow to mix. It's really thick. But this sauce is good on anything. You can dip veggies in it. So we're only going to use a little bit of it for the pizza. But all this extra stuff, you dip some veggies in it. You can toss it. Cook up some chicken. Toss it in the detergent.
I like that.
It's going to be pretty useful for many other things.
This is tasty.
I think I'm about there. Maybe a little bit more soy sauce. What do you think?
Yeah.
Give it a splash.
Splash.
Or a little bit more. What do you think?
That's probably good.
One more. There you go. Alright, give it a taste. Tell me what you think. You can always adjust it. Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
No, that came out good.
Yeah.
So there's our sauce for the topping. We also have some bean threads, some carrots. We're going to chop up some scallions.
Scallions!
And a little bit of cilantro. So once that finishes cooking in like 7 minutes, we will have some toppings to toss on.
It's all about the toppings.
I'm just going to start with 2 of these. I'm just going to slice off those bottoms. You know you can replant them?
Really? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because the roots do. Yeah, that makes sense actually.
I actually have a bunch on my windowsill right now. They're just sitting in water and they've totally resprouted. And so I just keep cutting them off and they keep coming back.
That's cool.
They're just in a glass of water.
Wow. See that?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of herbs on my roof. I'm growing mint and basil,
That's cool.
rosemary, and chives.
Love me some chives.
I made some quick pickles actually last night with a little bit of mint, basil, and the chives, with zucchini, kohlrabi, and regular pickles.
Look at you. All right. Hey.
I made up this marinade. It was so tasty. I was like, I gotta throw more veggies in there.
More veggies.
I was like, what else do I have in the house that I can just like toss in this brine and it'll come out nice and tasty.
Wow.
So I was like, it all works, right?
Yeah, it does actually. No, it really does. Makes your life a whole lot easier.
Well, that's the amazing thing about pickles. I don't think a lot of people realize is if you use up all your pickles, but you got like a really good brine, you can always throw some more veggies in it, and maybe it needs a little bit more salt to help bring it together. But
that's crazy.
See, this is coming.
Wow.
That's coming up great.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
All right, we'll give that. We want it to get a little bit brown on the top, and then we're ready to go. But I think our toppings are almost all ready.
And we're back. And
so you can see our crust has like shrunk a little. We got a little bit of browning around the edges. Looks tasty, right? So we made our sauce, which we adjusted for seasoning based on like what we both liked. So don't take anything I say as concrete. Add a little bit of this, add a little bit of that. You'll find where it hits your taste buds just right. So we're gonna add, let's put about 2 big spoonfuls. We're just going to spread it out on this crust. Nice and warm. Now we left the stove on because we're going to put it back in for a couple minutes.
That's a pretty good spread.
Yeah. Give it a nice little spread. It's got some sauce all the way around. That look good? Yeah. And we're going to sprinkle it with some shredded carrots. All the way around. veggies, some bean sprouts. Actually, before I do the bean, so bean sprouts, we're going to use some of these chopped up scallions that we chopped up.
Scallions.
We have a little bit of those going.
Cilantro.
Some cilantro.
Good stuff.
I'm just going to spread that.
And it looks really good.
And a little bit more of the bean sprouts. And if we had the cashews, we would chop some of those.
Cameraman, if we had the cashews.
We would totally throw those in as well. A little extra bean sprouts. I also have a little bit of avocado. Not everybody in this house likes avocado. We're just going to put a little bit over here on one side. I think the avocado will be super tasty with this. There we go. A couple nice big chunks. And then we're just going to stick this back in the oven for 5 minutes and let those carrots soften up a little bit, get those bean sprouts going. And we will be set to go. Just going to set the timer. And we will be all set.
5 minutes. Wow.
The avocado's coming right off.
It's gonna be taste buds, flavors, explosion.
I try.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Alright. Now, all we need to do, I think there's some little pieces. You ready for a taste?
Oh,
It's going to be pretty warm, but I think it should be. Alright. There you go.
Look at my face. Look at my face. Look at my face. So take a bite.
I'm waiting. I want to see that. Like, it's pretty hot. Careful there.
I couldn't wait. Listen.
I like how you're like, carrots, yummy.
Oh my gosh.
Alright.
Lord.
I made my first taste. It's got the factor.
Sure does. Wow. What's this called again? Goodness?
Goodness, Thai chicken pizza, and you can serve it with the sauce. I'm just gonna add a little extra.
This is good. This is amazing.
And it's pretty tasty.
I can't even. No, it's good when you're trying to talk and eat at the same time. So you know something's good.
You're watching Community Television, Avon's Channel 9.